I forgot that my Palermo keeper was actually 37 years old, and he decided, well, boss, I've played one too many games. I think I want to retire. And I hadn't made any plans to bring in another keeper. So I was kind of surprised and I was taken aback. So I had to go out into the market to look for a keeper. Now, finding a keeper is kind of interesting because you have to be careful with the statistics. If you want more information, I've got a post on the forums, which is The Art of Numbers, Not Attributes, a journey extracting the best out of my players, where I chronicle the journey of Palermo without the use of attributes. Within that post, you'll find me explaining the metrics I use to go find myself a good goalkeeper. So what kind of numbers should we be looking at? Should we be looking at clean sheets, conceded per 90, a goalkeeper save ratio, his expected save percentage? There's so much information. Where do we actually begin? First, we need to understand that goalkeepers are only part of a defense. If you put a really bad defense in front of a good goalkeeper, his numbers could look bad. You put a really great goalkeeper in front of a decent defense, he could elevate that entire defense. So you got to take a look at the whole picture. Remember what happened to Manchester United? There was one season where Ed De Gea was considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He had a great defense in front of him. There was also another season where, Ed De Gea was making all kinds of mistakes, but then you had to look at his defense in front of him. They weren't helping him out. So we have to take a look at the whole picture whenever we're assessing a goalkeeper. So whenever you find a goalkeeper, think about his team, maybe take a look at a couple of his matches, see how the team has been set up. Does his team make the goalkeeper look good or not? Those are things that you will have to judge on your own. Now, if you want to find out more data on goalkeepers, of course, you can go down to fbref.com and do some digging around, but I'm going to save you from doing that. Most keepers are going to save around 69% of shots, depending on whether they are inside or outside the box. If it's outside the box, it's going to be a higher number. When you go into the game of Football Manager, there's going to be goalkeeping statistics that you can find from the data hub, or if you have a nice skin like this, you go to the analysis, you can dig up any goalkeeper statistics, provided you have the right detail level set. Now, most goalkeepers, you will find the data for them. They've got conceded per 90, expected goals conceded per 90 as well. Now, this is the inverse of XG and goals. Basically, for really good goalkeepers, you want their expected goals conceded to be higher than their conceded, which basically means they were able to prevent more goal scoring chances. So that's in essence what it means. And then you have save percentages. So generally you want keepers to have a decent save percentage. So this is the numbers that we are looking at, including one final number. And that you can only find out from the advanced goalkeeping statistics. You want to find out what the expected goals prevented are. So generally for good goalkeepers, you want them to be in this quadrant over here, which means that the keeper has prevented lots of goals and he's got a good save ratio. So when I was going to go and look for a goalkeeper, I wanted a good goalkeeper and I wanted him to beat the numbers that my existing goalkeeper was putting out. My retiring goalkeeper had a save ratio of 75% and he had prevented 4 goals that season. So we managed to find 2 keepers. One keeper was playing in Serie A B. Now in Serie A B, he had some insane numbers. So you come here, we come to this goalkeeper, right? You go to analysis, ask for advanced goalkeeping, right? So here we go, Alessandro Russo. Look at where he is. In Serie A B, right? So he is a very good goalkeeper for this team. Okay, we come to this goalkeeper. What's his name? Ike Alvarez. Ask for advanced goalkeeper. Another outlier, expected goals prevented. Okay, not bad. Not bad. But his weakness is his one-footedness, right? Okay. Alright, next we got Samuel Brolin. Analysis. Ask for advanced goalkeeping stats. Okay. Yeah, his expected goals ratio is not so good. So Brolin is not somebody we should be jumping at. So far, our Russo is the best, I think. Okay. Russo is a bit older, but we also wanted to look at the future. And an 18-year-old keeper from Brazil caught my eye. Save ratio 76. 83. Wait, this guy, right? Eduardo stats. There we go, advanced goalkeeping. Hey, Eduardo. Okay. 3 and 80% in the Brazilian league. And he's a national. He's 18 years old. That means he's got room to grow. Where's the scout report for this guy? Consistent. We gotta talk to this club already. Ask agent about availability. 17.5 million. This is the first time I paid so much money for a player. I think this is worth it. If you had noticed Eduardo's media description, you would have noticed it said commanding goalkeeper. But by the time he joined my club, my coaching staff got excited. We just signed our first wonderkid from statistics and we didn't know. It comes to us and it's immediately a wonderkid. Since signing our 2 keepers, and we've only played 11 games this season, Lucas Eduardo has already won 2 Man of the Match awards. He was absolutely outstanding in our win against Inter Milan, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to break down the steps so that it's easier for you to follow. Step 1, get yourself a custom view with several pieces of information. You want club or reputation, you want his average rating, this is important, you want a save ratio at least, and appearances. Now we've got our custom view that will make it easier for us to identify players that need to be scouted. Step 2, go to your filter. Have appearances set up, an average rating, and a save ratio, because it's the only one that we can put into the game, right? So this is the only ratio that we can use. There's no expected goals prevented. We only have a save ratio. So start with the save ratio. It's pretty easy. We've got our view, we've got our filter. Now it's time for us to isolate the players. You want to be careful not to overlook goalkeepers who could be playing for sides that have bad defenses, because these goalkeepers could be really good. They could have prevented even more goals from going into the back of the net. So what do? In the absence of more filters for custom views, we just have to do it a bit more manually. In the last couple of years, SI has done some improvements to average ratings. Nowadays, even if a keeper is playing for a losing side, he can have a good average rating. So here, you want to just click on the keeper like this, Jose Caro, and then come in here, look for advanced goalkeeping stats, and then make a determination of whether this keeper is any decent. Here, the keeper has overall shot stopping. He's not that good. I mean, his save ratio might be high. He prevented maybe 0 to 1. I mean, he's playing, by these numbers, he's playing average, right? He's a pretty decent keeper. What he can do then is come here. Now here we notice he's conceded 0.72, 0.73. It's not that bad. I mean, according to these numbers, he's playing to form. He's not outstanding. So even if my scouts were to come in and give him an A, and without looking at his attributes, I wouldn't be jumping at him and going, oh, this is a great keeper. No, I would be hesitating. Now, what about this keeper over here? Jans Krenimir. Once again, he's got 79%. We don't have a scout who's gone out to give us any numbers on this goalkeeper. But if you've got data loaded, if your leagues are playable, and you've got detail level set to high, he's playing in the Belgian Pro League. We should have his data. You can come in here. Once again, goalkeeping defensive. His expected goals conceded is 1.3. He's only conceded 1 this season. We can go to the advanced goalkeeping tab. He's not doing that badly. I mean, his ratio is about 78. Jans Krennemeier has prevented 4 goals so far. Is this because he's only played 1 game? No, he's actually had 15 appearances. So this goalkeeper, who's about only 22.9 to 5.6 million, could be worth looking at because he is playing quite well. Save ratios are a very useful starting point when you want to go look for keepers, but you got to remember to look at other numbers. You got to look at expected goals prevented. You got to try and get a snapshot of the keeper in terms of his goals conceded versus his expected goals conceded. This can give you a decent profile of a keeper. And don't forget, send your scout out. Find out more about the goalkeeper. He could be chronically one-footed, and you may decide maybe you don't want to have that kind of a keeper, especially if you are playing the ball out from the back and expecting to use him as a sweeper keeper. I hope you found today's video useful. If you have questions, you know where to find me. Once again, I want to thank everybody for your continued support of this channel. I truly appreciate everything you've done. You guys stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.